Hi, everybody. Meteorologist Joe Cioffi. It's weather in 5 days in 5 minutes on what is turning out to be a beautiful day of weather here in the Northeast down into the northern mid-Atlantic states. Other than the fact that we are seeing or have seen a little bit of patchy cloudiness left over from this morning, that's all long gone over in New Jersey and over Long Island. That disappeared pretty quickly this morning, and skies are mostly sunny throughout much of the Northeast. Southward down into Pennsylvania, Maryland, and Delaware. There's a little bit of low cloudiness, a little bit of valley fog that forms in the overnight over parts of West Virginia and down into Ohio. You can still see it showing up there on the satellite, but that too is thinning out. There's nothing in the way of any precipitation. We are seeing weather conditions relatively quiet. So, you know what? We've got a beautiful spring day in spite of everything that's going on, of course, with the coronavirus and everyone being confined uh, to a large extent. Try and enjoy the beautiful weather that we have this afternoon. In the early spring, usually, and even into mid spring, especially near the coast, you don't get too many nice days like this. And temperature wise, we are climbing, responding to the sunshine. We're in the mid to upper 50s in most places at the lunchtime hour, and even some low 60s starting to show up in parts of southern Pennsylvania, southern New Jersey, down into Delaware, Maryland, and northeastern Virginia. A little bit cooler when you move your way up through Long Island and Connecticut, where temperatures are in the mid to upper 50s and middle 50s in the Hudson Valley and across much of upstate New York and into central New England. So, all in all, it's just a very, very good day indeed. As far as severe weather is concerned for today, really not looking at very much happening here from the standpoint of severe weather in the U.S. There's a small area of marginal risk being indicated for parts of northern Indiana, northern Illinois around Chicago, and into northwest Ohio, and also a small area of marginal risk in southern Virginia and in eastern North Carolina. That is for today, and then for tomorrow. We and into Wednesday morning, we have a much larger area of marginal to slight risk that covers the mid-Atlantic states, northwestward into the Ohio Valley, and into the lower Great Lakes. So this will be perhaps the one busier day. Also, a small area of marginal risk down in Mississippi and parts of northeastern Louisiana. And then moving on to day three, and this is for the period for Wednesday into Thursday. Marginal risk of severe weather across the mid Atlantic states from Delaware to about the Pennsylvania Maryland border and covering Virginia and North Carolina westward into the lower Ohio and Tennessee Valley and into the lower and middle Mississippi valleys here. So a little bit of a busier outlook here for Wednesday into Thursday. And in the long range, as far as the severe weather is concerned, at the moment, the Storm Prediction Center indicating from days 4 to 8 that the predictability is too low for them to put out a forecast. At least at this time. So we're watching what is a weak weather front this morning that's to our south, and that's going to continue to sag southward. This is the reason why we are seeing that small area of marginal risk popping up from the standpoint of radar activity at the moment. It's relatively quiet. If you look closely in the southern West Virginia, you're seeing a few isolated showers beginning to develop here, moving southeastward. So that could come into that risk zone that we saw, and also in eastern North Carolina. But for everywhere else, from the rest of Virginia and on northeastward up into New England, the radar is nice and quiet with no worries. So, looking at what we're expecting going forward, as we said, the rest of the day looks fine and dandy. We've got this frontal boundary to the south that is setting up as the next weather system approaches on Tuesday. There could be a couple of scattered showers with this during the afternoon and evening. You can see what the NAM does, low pressure coming out from the northern lakes to Michigan by early Wednesday morning. It's right over northern New Jersey and southern New England. So we should, I think, see some improvement in weather conditions on Wednesday. So Tuesday, look for arriving clouds and maybe some showers later in the day. Wednesday, it should get better, and it'll probably be on the warm side Wednesday with northwest winds behind this first low. And then here comes the next one for later Thursday and Thursday night. We've got a cold front coming through here. And then behind that, looks like the weather will turn a bit chilly for Friday and going into the weekend. So, as far as high temperatures are concerned, we'll be in the 60s for the rest of the day, cooler 50s along coastal locations. The same will hold true for Tuesday, 60s inland, 50s along the immediate coast. Wednesday, with that system going having gone by, we could see warmer temperatures, especially from Philadelphia south and west, where we could be up into the low and even some middle 70s. It'll be mostly 60s and 50s as you go north and east of there because of where this low is going to be tracking. And then moving on to Thursday, we'll be in the upper 50s and low 60s in most places, and with another cold front coming through. And then after that, looks like it will turn chilly with highs only in the low and mid 50s for Friday and probably into this coming weekend. So, you know what? Get outside while you got the sun and enjoy it if you can. And we'll see you tonight on the Joe and Joe Weather Show on my YouTube channel, Joe Cioffi, at 7 o'clock Eastern Time.